Hello and welcome to House and Home Chat, Real Estate Real Talk with Dena and Chris. I'm Dena Mathis.
And I'm Chris Breitenbach. Hey, today in House and Home Chat, we are going to chat with John Apke of Apke Total Restoration. With the holiday season here, we just got past through Thanksgiving, and I know I entertained. Mm-hmm. Dena, you got to go somewhere. John, yes. Were you home or did you?
No, I'm home.
You were home
for the holidays.
And so you entertained, which is a lot of fun. And over the next couple of weeks, hopefully we'll be doing a lot more entertaining. It's just fun and exciting, but it could wreak havoc on our carpets. So with that wreaking havoc, we're going to talk to John today about how to take the best care of our carpets.
John also specializes in home restoration. So in the event that you have some sort of accident where water damages your home, John's going to offer up some tips for you today on how you can potentially prevent any of those mishaps from happening, and you can prepare your home for the winter without any water issues. And then later on in Real Talk, Chris and I are going to be discussing how to prepare your home for the market now during these winter months.
Yeah, so let's begin with John. John, welcome to our program today.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, John. Thanks for joining us.
Why don't we start by having you just tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about yourself.
Grew up in Cincinnati, went to grew up in Cincinnati, went to same high school as your husband.
Both our husbands,
yes,
all these older people.
Everybody. Little plug there.
Started my business in 1987.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Going since then. I'm married, live out in the Montgomery area, 3 boys. 2 of them are married, have 3 grandkids. So
I love
nice,
it.
happy life so far.
Oh, that's
love
nice.
Love it. We're having our first in January, so we love all that grandparent stuff right now.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah, you got a lot.
Thank you very much.
Dena's son is only 15.
Yeah. You know what the joke is I've used now is, if I knew how good grandkids would get, or I would never had kids.
You would have just skipped straight there, right?
Yeah,
we'll have to use that in my house.
Oh, that's too funny. So, John, we mentioned the holidays, and we mentioned that people are entertaining in their homes, and that it can often, wreak some havoc on our carpets. Let's talk about carpet cleaning. When should you have your carpets cleaned? Should you have them before the company or after the company?
It's kind of more up to the person's preference.
Okay.
If you care about the people and want to look real sharp for them, then
you care about your guests.
You want to clean it. If you know your guests are real sloppy and are going to make a mess anyway, clean it after. But it's kind of there. If you're having a whole lot of people, I'd probably recommend after.
Okay.
If you're just having a few people, recommend before.
Yeah. And is it better to, is there a time of year that it's better to have your carpets done, like spring or fall or?
Most people are spring, summer. Okay. I think we do quite a bit in fall and a little bit in winter. Winter because it's cold. I don't think people want to open up their doors and have us come in, but
that's probably a good
spring cleaning's kind of
the time where people reach out. Got it. And so, how do you clean carpets? I know that it's not like with all companies, it's not created equal, right? Well, like everybody does things differently. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about.
We kind of have a different method than other companies. We have we use steam extraction cleaning. We have the truck mounted units, but what we do is we come in, we pre-treat all the carpets, and then we steam clean them with just hot water. So we remove your dirt and our pre-treatment, so we leave the carpets nice and fresh. And then afterwards, we go and we dry stroke them again to make sure we pull out as much moisture as we can. And then they usually take about 6 hours or so to dry.
Okay. Got to keep this all in mind.
Are you having your carpets cleaned?
We need to have some flooring installed and then carpets cleaned once we know what's left.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there different types of cleaning for different carpet types? I mean, what if you have like a really thick pile carpet versus something,
or different materials?
Different materials. Yeah. Wool carpet. I have wool carpet in my house, and I use the same method for it. Okay. It didn't bother the sheep, so we figured we can do water don't bother sheep, so it didn't bother. But yeah, you have to be a little bit careful with some of your pre-treatments on different floorings.
Okay.
But most of the time it's you can use the same thing.
So you will pre-treat what areas that are stained or?
Everything. We'll pre-treat
Okay.
all the carpet. Maybe not behind the sofa or something
Okay.
like that, but we do pre-treat all the traffic areas, all the open areas in our
Okay,
house.
you
like in the room.
pre-treat and then you do the
Then we
steam.
steam extract, yes.
Okay, steam extract, got it.
And
Yes.
so would we have to know, like, can you tell what a carpet is made of, or is that something that like we would need to be prepared for?
I'm trying to think, there's not that many, there aren't any carpets that you really have anymore that you have to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah, I do know there was a method where we can go through, you learn how you basically heat test.
Okay.
Depends on how it melts.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
big
That would,
thing on how what kind of carpet it is, but that's when they had a lot of different varieties. Most of it's not on almost anymore.
okay.
It sure seems like it.
Yeah.
In
there's
looking
not
at
too much.
carpets, that,
And you get some wool and some wool blends, and
Mhm.
every now and then you get some silk, but that's not, those are real high.
Ooh, silk carpet.
Well, a silk blend, there is some, yeah, they're high.
And so that might be a different technique
Well, you
or,
just have to, you can't, your
Pre-treat.
pH, your pre-treatment can't be as strong.
sounds technical. Not so much.
silk carpet. If you have silk carpet, please invite me to come see it.
Yes, yes,
You
I
know.
bet that feels nice.
So in terms of treating the stains, do you find that pretty much all stains are treatable?
No,
Okay,
no, some stains are permanent.
okay.
Certain things like mustards,
Oh,
sometimes it, cat vomit, sometimes urines, depending on what the cat or what the person had in their system, drugs
Okay.
they're on, or things like that.
Oh, got it.
Burn marks are definitely, permanent.
Well, that would be,
But and then some
Destruction.
are like, wool, like red pop. Those are, we can get them out, but they're difficult.
okay.
and you mentioned cat stains, but what about having pets? Are your products safe for pets?
Yeah, oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been using the same product for 30 years.
Okay.
Wow.
Any problems? I think
Yeah.
About 30.
So you mentioned some of these, Chris is mentioning these stains, and there's some tough to treat stains, obviously. What about during the holidays, you're entertaining, somebody spills red wine or food or candle wax, or I don't know.
Yeah.
All kinds of things happen to the carpet this time of year. Are there things that we should have at home, kind of in our tool bag to help treat these in the moment?
Yeah, the first thing I do is just, my general, if people call me, the first thing is blot up as much, get some clean, white towels
Mm-hmm,
and blot up as much as you can.
mm-hmm,
And then usually if you mix a little like a little bit of laundry detergent,
mm-hmm.
don't use dish soap,
Oh,
because
really?
that films up a whole lot.
I've used dish soap before because
Well,
I'll
and
use-
I found that to be interesting,
Oh,
and it
no.
makes sense.
Oh, then when we come and clean the carpets,
Yeah.
it just foams up.
Oh.
And then our hose doesn't work, and we
Oh,
don't.
no.
We don't get
Okay.
we
All
do
right.
have the foamer, but
Now
no,
I
you
know
don't want to use
better.
dish soap. Use a little bit of like Tide or something,
Okay.
or a product like that,
Okay, so
without bleach.
no dishwashing.
Yeah,
Tide,
without
no
bleach,
bleach.
Yeah.
no bleach. Put that in, like put a little tablespoon in a quart of water, mix it up, and then kind of rub it in,
Yeah.
blot it in, and get as much out as you can.
Got it.
That's usually the easiest method and kind of the safest, and you're not going to do any additional damage. But don't rub real hard, of course, blot.
I tend to rub. I tend to use the dishwashing
hard.
detergent or the dishwashing soap.
Yeah.
I'm doing it all wrong, apparently.
As long as you don't hurt your carpet.
What about some of the other products that, you Pinterest things and you read about using like vinegar or baking soda, things like
Baking
that?
soda would work,
Are
like if
those
you have a
okay?
spill, and you can put baking soda down, will absorb when it, like oil,
Oh, okay.
oily spills.
Okay.
You can put that down, that would absorb as it comes back. The oils, you clean them first and the oils will wick back up on you.
Okay,
And they're, when they wick back up, the baking soda will pick that up.
okay.
But,
Okay.
but most of those things you pick up don't work that well.
They don't work that well, so we should really just call you.
Yeah, and I can give you some, I can give you some tips. Yeah, vinegar, like if you coffee, will help on coffee.
Yeah.
Like 1 part vinegar, 1 part vinegar, like 9 parts water.
Okay,
And then
Okay.
kind of put that, and that might help on coffee a little bit.
okay.
Well,
But
that's
probably
good.
your-
I do spill coffee.
Okay. But usually your best is the Tide or the just water
Okay.
detergent.
And I have never used or Tide products in my house for all my P&G people. Dawn dish soap,
Yeah.
Tide
Don't
products,
use Dawn dish soap.
not on my carpets
Not on your
anymore. But I have never used it on my carpets. You know, I'm a club soda.
Yeah, club soda works. Yeah.
Club soda for red wine.
Yeah.
I've never used the club soda. I'm doing it all wrong.
Yeah. Club soda does work, but
Pinterest
it's
is leading
that's
me
just
in
a
the
little
wrong
bit bubbly
direction.
water kind of, and fix it up a little bit.
Right,
Yeah.
just kind of, I don't know,
Yeah.
lifts it a
Yeah.
little bit, but you're good with that. I can use that.
Yeah.
But I'm still better off just using my liquid Tide. Probably not the pods.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be too much. And
What
the
about
old
those
scoop, yeah.
carpet stain removers you buy at, Kroger or whatever? I mean,
it depends on
those-
what they are. They
Okay.
may or may not work.
Okay.
Depending on what the problem is, you got 7,500 different stains,
Yeah.
Right.
and yeah, a lot of things are specialties.
Mhm. And pet stains specifically, is there anything that's good or best for pet stains?
Not just try and blot it up the best
Okay.
you can,
Okay.
and then the vinegar and water work a little bit on that.
Okay.
But blot it up, get it up as quick as
Just
you
keep
can.
blotting.
Yes.
Just keep
Yeah,
blotting.
well, and the hard part with that, or some of them, is you don't know, right, until you wake up the next day, or I'm even thinking.
It might have settled a
Definitely with
little
the
bit.
pet, but the day after a party, you
Yeah.
wake up and you're like,
Oh,
I
look
missed
at my floor.
Yeah.
I missed the chocolate brownies that 3-year-olds
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
grinding into the carpet.
Yeah.
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 It happens.
That's not too bad. You should be able to get that out of yourself.
So those are some really great tips, and now I know what I've been doing wrong, and now I know what to do right, and I know to call you, obviously, as well. But you also do have the restoration part of your business as well. So tell us a little bit about the types of things that you offer at Apke.
We do water damage restoration. So
Okay.
when you're flooded basement or whatever floods, we can come in. We have the equipment to dry you up, get you back and put you back to the way before.
And there is a lot of the heavy duty where
We're
here,
recording from, yes,
John's
the
place,
Apke.
and
Mhm.
definitely I love all the equipment.
and you might hear some equipment in the background, but but we're good. So what types of things should we be doing, or the average homeowner be doing, to prevent some of these water
The
issues?
first tip I give is when you leave their house, if you're going out for more than 2 or 3 days, turn off your water going into your house. Go down there, turn off the main line so you're not in there. Because a 1/4 inch, we cleaned another, it was a 1/4 inch pipe over a weekend can drop at least 700-800 gallons.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So that can fill up your house, and if it's on the second floor, the damage gets really, your
Yeah.
cabinets get weighted up, they fall down.
And
it
so
can
it's
be
easy
really
as just
nasty.
turn it
Just
turn
turn
it
it
off.
So
off.
turning it
Well,
off
yeah.
from the main
The
valve,
main valve,
in
yes.
the house.
That's first tip.
Even
I
just
give.
for a couple of days.
Yeah.
I mean, that
'Cause
makes good
Little pipe
sense.
breaks, it pops out a lot of water.
You're
real
not
fast.
home for 24 hours, 48 hours, and it can really cause a lot of
That's
damage.
my
That would
first
be,
tip.
and
That's all
figure
Jim
no
here.
one's checking in on your house, so that's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of damage. So if you're traveling over the next couple of weeks,
Yeah,
make sure you follow that number 1 tip.
turn it off.
And then second thing is have your gutters checked. Make sure they're clear, and you get the leaves out. If you don't have leaf guards on, make sure the leaf guards. Otherwise, you might get some ice damming and some backing up into your house, and you get like in your second floor bedrooms, you start getting water marks in your ceilings and things like
Oh,
that.
got it.
So it comes in through where? Like, so your
Well,
your
it's all
gutters.
it comes under. The gutters get backed
Flooded.
up, and then it comes back up into your underneath
Under-
the shingles
you know
and into
what?
the house.
Okay, because I've seen that happen with ice, I guess.
Yeah, it's ice damage.
Okay,
Yeah,
ice,
yeah, the
that
ice
would-
will,
yeah.
it will come over the other
Okay.
way if it's just there, but when it starts freezing up, it starts backing up in it.
Got it. So making sure those gutters are clean in the fall months here is going to help with any sort of backup.
So the next warm, semi-warm day, I want everybody up checking those
Or
gutters.
hire a company, that's it, I don't go up on my gutter anymore. I don't go up on my roof, so.
Now you've got a hose
Don't want to be
bib
like Bill
there.
Cunningham.
You've got a hose bib there.
Yeah.
Tell us a
What
little bit
happened, and
about
then
what happens here.
Make sure you take your hoses off your hose bibs this time of year before it starts freezing up. What happens is when if you have it on here and you have the hose on here, you get a freeze. It shuts off right. Your valve shuts off right here.
Right.
So you get a freeze in this part here, and there's a little one right here from a job I did. But what happens is when you turn on your water in the spring, see, half your water is going that way and half the water is going down into your basement.
Oh, so right here,
So
where
right
there's
there.
that little leak.
Right,
Yeah.
think of it,
That
here's
little-
where
yeah,
your
yeah,
house is.
cuts off.
Yeah, that's where your house is. And so then it's running down and you think, oh, you're looking at it and you're saying, dang, that's not too strong. Maybe it's not strong from the winter, and you're watering whatever, then half it's going to basement, and then you call me up and I have to dry you up.
Does that happen a lot?
I get about 4 or 5 every spring.
Yeah, enough. Enough so that we all know better now, right? And what other tips do you have for us?
Let's see, that's pretty much it. What else do we have there? Oh, yeah. When my business gets really busy, and if we have like 3 days straight of below 10-degree weather and pipes start blowing. So I recommend if you leave your house, and it's below 10 degrees, don't turn your heat down.
Okay.
Keep it up.
You always want to obviously save some money, turn the temperatures down. So don't turn it down below a certain degree.
I'd keep it at normal temperature because you got a lot of force, a lot of cold on the outside, and that gets in your pipes, and you can have real major issues with that. And then also open up all your cabinet doors if you have like a sink on an outside wall.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Somebody needs some restoration.
We need help.
Call you back.
We need help.
All my boys. Sorry
So,
about that.
Dena, we were discussing some of your tips on the way here, and I said, I've been in Cincinnati 30-something years at this point, and I grew up in northern Ohio,
She's
and
in the
we
cold
always,
northern
snow belt of Ohio,
area.
if the temperature went below 10 degrees, we opened up all of our cabinets that had a sink. And I moved to Cincinnati and everybody thinks I'm nuts. They come to my house, I've got cabinet doors all open, I'm calling, even now I'll tell my boys, well, not Joe, he's in Arizona.
Yeah.
But, I'll be like, hey, you're on a double outside wall.
Yeah.
Get that bathroom cabinet open,
And
and that's one of your tips.
Oh, yeah. No, you gotta, if it doesn't, not like that. We only get like about every 3 years, 4 years, we'll get like 3 days. A bad winter where it's, 3 days below 10 degrees. And when it does, pipes just start bursting.
And that's funny. I was laughing too, because I always make fun of my husband. And so when he listens to this podcast, he's gonna call me up and he's gonna say, Chris is the smart one, just like me. I always tell you to do this, especially like our laundry room pipes. And he's always calling my mom, he's calling my sisters, he's calling everybody we know to tell them to open up those doors. And that's a great tip also about not turning the temperatures down.
Right.
Because we have homes that we list for sale that are vacant during the winter months.
That's definitely.
People leave and then they want to turn that temp way down.
Yeah.
So they, of course, naturally want to decrease their spending and their energy bills, but it could cause some big problems for them.
And just another tip on that, when you do leave a house and it's unoccupied, the insurance, unoccupied houses, sometimes the insurance isn't covered quite as well.
That's a good point as well.
So you got to make sure
you gotta be
your
careful.
insurance, when you leave, you got to make sure your insurance still covers it.
And turning off the water valve, those things are all good for our vacant homes.
That is a very valid point. Where we will have an insurance person on next season, but it does change when you move out.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So talking about prepping our homes for the market, Chris and I are going to move into that segment in a little bit, but how can you help with that preparation?
Well,
what other services do you offer?
Well, we do the carpet cleaning, which we do quite a bit of before people move out. We clean up their houses.
Stains up.
Get those stains up. And then we also do a lot before people move in too, just to get it cleaned up so they feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
We do tile and grout cleaning, so your kitchen floors, bathroom floors, some bathroom walls we can help out too. Upholstery, clean up your upholstery. I'm sure that makes your house look a little bit nicer.
Right.
If your upholstery looks nicer, sofa, and then also what else was it?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what you were talking about. Rugs.
Oh yeah, area rugs. Yeah, well, rugs, we can take those out. We can clean them on site, but we usually, at the more valuable, we like to bring them back here, and we have a plant down the street where we clean them.
Yeah, and that's nice too. I don't think of carpet cleaners when I think about my area rugs, but that's a great point because we just ripped out some carpets and put in hardwoods, and so now I have a lot of area rugs. And high traffic areas, tend to bring in dirt, front door, and everything else. So it's nice to know
we're
that
also
that's
starting
an option.
in. It's the first year we're going to be starting it up is we're hardwood floors. We clean them. We clean hardwood floors, and then we can recoat them with a finish to make them look a little bit brighter.
And you're currently doing that?
Yes,
or you,
we've started into it, but the first year we're going to be going full.
Advertising it, kind of. Oh, love it. So that's a new service for you. All right.
I love that because mine probably need to eventually be redone, but they're really not to that point. But boy, a good cleaning.
Yeah.
A good cleaning.
Oh yeah, good ad.
Yeah,
good add to the business.
So yeah, if you're getting ready to prepare your home for the market, and we need, that grout gets dirty and dingy. I think that's a big one for prepping your home, and even just the upholstery cleaning. Of course, giving your home that fresh overall appeal is really going to help with.
So whether you're staying or going, these are things that should be done. If you keep up with it consistently, then when Dena and I come and do your walkthrough before you list your home, we're going to, we're not going to have as many of those suggestions. It's more of just a freshening up. Exactly. It really does make a statement, I think, to buyers of the care and love that you've given to your home. But love that just get all of it taken care of.
Get it all taken care of. Exactly.
Easy for you. It's just a phone call.
Exactly. So John, are there any other types of services that we haven't touched on?
We do. Let's see, fire damage restoration coming after fires. And, we can clean up. We can move. We do move some people out. Move their contents out. We clean them here, and we move them back in. And that's another thing is we can rugs. I was thinking we pick those things up before the people move, and we clean them, and then when they move to their new house, we've done that quite a few times this year. We'll deliver to their new house, and then they can put them out wherever they want.
Yeah,
that's a great service.
That is a great service. Well, thank you. Hopefully these tips, everybody, will help you celebrate the holiday season with ease, and so don't be afraid to entertain and serve. I don't know, people serve a lot of lasagna around here for Christmas. We don't, of course, but everybody else does. So thank you for sharing. Wine spill.
Take care of them.
Montgomery Inn. I know we had a graduation party. There was Montgomery Inn sauce everywhere. So thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. I think a lot of good suggestions for people. Our small business shout out today goes to Apke Total Restoration. So give them a call. What's the best way for people to get in contact with you?
513-541-1900. And my website is Apke, APKE, like in totalrestoration.com.
Perfect. And as always, if you're watching us on YouTube, you will find that information in print at the end of the program.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. And our final small business shout out goes to John of Apke Restoration. I know that I learned a lot of what not to do today, Chris. How about you?
No dishwashing liquid on the carpet.
Exactly. So moving into the real talk real estate portion of our program, these winter months, as we discussed, are a great time to put your house on the market for lots of different reasons. We've been talking about that over the course of several podcasts here. But whether or not you're getting ready to list your home now or in a couple of months, it actually is a great time to evaluate and do some of these tasks that you need to do to prepare your home for the market. So what are we thinking, Chris? What do we have?
Well, we know that I always say start out at the curb outside in front of your house. And
of course,
as I was going to get my mail the other day, I was looking at the weeds that have come up through this warm fall and thinking, okay, I really need to get all of those cleaned up. So there's leaves. I know the leaves have all fallen. Those weeds, just some basic maintenance that, trust me, do it now. It's cold, so they're easy to pull up. Those roots aren't grabbing.
Right.
Or if you use spray, you can use spray. I like to pull them up at this time of year because just get those roots out. And it will save you in spring, and especially if you're going to be listing your home. It's just going to save you so much work.
And if you're listing your home, even during the winter months, it's just important to clean up those beds and trim down and trim back all of that dead, brush that you get during this time of year. Clearing your front porch of leaves just makes it a nice presentation. So get all that landscaping work done now.
Yeah, really, really easy.
It's also, I think, a good time to kind of evaluate what needs to be painted on the exterior. It may be a little cold to do the painting right now, but, I think with just taking that pen and paper, taking a step back and really looking at doors and looking at wood trim, window sills, anything on the exterior, just taking inventory on everything on the exterior that needs to be addressed and figuring out a plan.
Right. And really, again, we're talking about the leaves and the leaves falling, that gives, helps you with that visual, what is happening behind. And so you're right, that trim work, right? What needs to be painted in the spring, but at least take that notice of what you want to get done before the leaves start to sprout again.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, because you can see so much more with all the leaves and the foliage gone. Your house is much more prominent and exposed, whereas during those spring, summer months, we're looking at the blooms and things like that. So it's easier to see, and it's much more visible, so you want to make sure that you address it.
Yeah. And a good time for planning, right? You look at those beds, what needs to be cleaned up. Do you need to add or replace?
That's a great point, because now you can take that step back and kind of take more of an objective eye as to what maybe you need to do in the coming months.
And what about winter staging?
Well, you know what? I think there's a lot that you can still do during the winter months. So if you are planning, right after the holidays here to list your home, or maybe during the holidays, right?
I love listing during the holidays.
Yeah, so creating that first impression is key. And even though you can't maybe bring some of the blooms into the picture here, creating a warm impression on that front porch, I think, can still be done during the winter months. So bringing in evergreens perhaps, or seasonal
That's nice green color, right?
Yeah, adding some green color. Lighting is key. Maybe some pretty lanterns. So you can't decorate with flowers, but really bringing and playing with the lighting, with the lanterns.
I love the idea of a lantern.
Yeah, a pretty mat, a seasonal or a pretty welcome mat. A wreath on the front door. It all creates a mood and an impression. So you can still do a lot during the winter months to create that for your buyer.
And obviously, Dena always makes me think, and I'm picturing my 2 pots by my front door that I put flowers in. For the holidays, I have a wreath that I set on top of each one with a candle coming out the top. And I'm thinking, wow, I bet I could change that out for just a pretty lantern on each.
There you go.
And make a welcoming presence. Probably need something around the base, but Wow, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And I'm a stayer. Brighton Bucks are always, should we stay or should we go? So I'm thinking either way, that's a great suggestion.
There's so much that can be done. Just taking that step back, taking a look at your house during these, even during these winter months when it's so cold, there's a lot that you can do to warm it up, right?
Yeah.
So how about after we've moved inside the home?
Well,
what are some things
first,
yes.
Now that I watch Hoarders, tackle your clutter.
You talk about hoarders all the time.
Now that I watch Hoarders, tackle the clutter.
That's too funny. Yeah, I'll have to agree with that. Clutter is a big thing.
And I think in winter, I don't know what it is about winter. Maybe we're, because we're nesting in the winter, it seems like it accumulates so much more. And it's harder to get a grasp on. So, they always say you should touch a piece of paper once. And really,
that's a good rule.
It is a great rule, right? Touch everything once and get it to its place.
Yeah.
You're
selling square footage, keep that in mind. So the more clutter you have, the smaller your house appears.
Yeah.
So get rid of that clutter. Chris, after the holidays here, as people are putting all of their, their Christmas and Hanukkah and all of their holiday items away, pack them away, pack them up and get them out of there. And not only that, but don't bring back all of your other tchotchkes that you have, all your other personal belongings. They're beautiful, they're lovely, but they're your personals, and it's time to just pack them up and pack them away.
Yeah, so Christmas, not only put it away, but pack it because you're moving.
Yeah.
And, and if you haven't used it, if you didn't use it this holiday season, think about putting it in the purge pile. And whether you're taking it to a consignment shop or donating it or whatever, put it in your purge pile and, really look at, okay, I haven't used this in 5 years. I haven't put this out in 5 years. Really, do you want to keep it and move it to the next place?
Exactly.
So, purge not only that, but it's a good time of year to just walk through your house in general, open closets and say, what can I get rid of out of here today?
Exactly. That's a great point. It's time to purge. It's just getting rid of all those things that you haven't touched, you haven't used, the things in your closet that you haven't worn, shoes, and there are plenty of organizations out there that need those things this time of year and any time of year. But it's a great opportunity to start purging.
Somebody can appreciate.
So
you may not be using them anymore, but somebody can. So let them.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I think another thing, as you're, on this same theme of packing away and purging, is really looking at your home from a buyer's perspective and depersonalizing your home. Now, that doesn't mean that I, make it void of all personality,
take every picture
down, and take every picture down. But really, if you've got, that theme wall of, your family photos, buyers will get caught up in looking at all of those rather than looking at the features of your home. They want to see themselves in your home, not you and your family. Not only that, but they become distracted,
They do, and it's not their home.
It's not their home.
It is, and it is your home, right? But we want our buyers to see it as their home and picturing their family or themselves there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, another good point.
So what else do we have?
It's a good time to begin to freshen up, right? So look at paint. I think the winter months are January is a great time to paint, right? You're starting off a new year. Let's start it fresh. Whether you're staying or going, again, good time of year to just get that done.
Yeah, and there are obviously always colors that are on trend, and you want to keep with those trends, but at the same time, you want to keep it light and bright.
And neutral.
So, in For example, talking with some of our experts in the past where Nancy tells us that dark colors are in. That's great for personalization.
And if you're staying.
But if you're going, you might want to think about something that's going to open up the space, brighten it up, and keep it just light and airy.
And I will tell you that that neutral paint color, I've been continue to work with a number of buyers, and I'm going into a lot of homes where there's a lot of paint work, and I'm really surprised at the amount of bright colors I'm seeing on the wall. And you know, Smurf blue and whether and not necessarily in a bedroom is one color I've seen recently, and orange and purple, and so that personalization's great. But if you're thinking of going in the next year, or actually within the next probably 3, and you're painting and freshening up, go neutral.
Go neutral. Exactly. Another thing I think to look at that's really important and becomes so prevalent this time of year, more so than other times of year, and I don't know why, maybe just because we're inside, but looking at your windows and cleaning your windows. They look so dirty during the winter.
Dirtier in the winter than the summer?
They look dirtier, and I'm trying to figure out why they look dirtier in the winter, but I think it's just because you look out the windows, it's cloudy out, and you're spending more time indoors.
I don't know.
So you see, you're in the house morning, afternoon, evening, different lighting at different times of the day. I know that I become much more aware of
Me too.
the interior of my home rather than the summer months where I'm out at, the pool and stuff.
Let's go to that pool.
Yeah. So clean those windows. I think you got to do that during the winter months, and also along with that, looking at the window treatments, making sure that those are clean and dusted. They get an awful lot of dust.
And you see the dust. More, I don't know. I think you see it more so in the winter. So good time to
too. Yeah.
Evaluate that.
Exactly. And window treatments, as far as your blinds and your curtains and balances and what kind of mood are they creating in your home? Maybe they're on trend and they still keep with a bright and open and airy space, or maybe they're a little bit aged and maybe they're a little bit heavy. Maybe they darken the room too much. And if that's the case, then it's time to get rid of those.
Yeah. Just again, it'll be a new year soon.
Yeah.
Focus on freshness for the new year.
Exactly.
And just like cleaning your windows, clean your carpets, clean your floors, clean those wood floors now.
Call John.
Just let him take care of it for you, and just really freshen you up for the rest of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an easy one.
And I think just finally, just to put the exclamation points at the end of everything, is really, if now is the time that you're going to be moving forward and prepping your house for the market, then stage that home and create a little bit of a wow factor there. So whether it's taking furniture and repurposing it to other rooms, or editing by taking away, editing bookshelves, bringing something else in that is maybe a cool on-trend piece, just creating something of a wow factor in your home will really help get that home sold and get your house noticed.
Yeah. And our last tip is to connect with Dena and I. You need to connect with a good realtor. Now's the time to do it, and let us guide you home in 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd be happy to help with all of your planning as you're prepping, you're getting ready. We can help you through those staging lists, and
we'll help you make the connections for the resources.
Exactly.
To get it done.
Exactly.
So this has been House and Home Chat, Real Estate Real Talk with Dena and Chris. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Take care.